What's going on, everyone? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today I'm going to do something really fun, really interesting. We can see that we have my little moss tray here. And there's a couple of little ferns that are growing everywhere, actually. Whenever I have a moss tray, I always like to keep it very well sealed. But apparently in all of my moss trays, these little fern spores have been spreading, and now they are growing, and they're very good. They're very, very cool. The leaf shape is very nice, and they grow very, very small. So I think they look very cool for terrariums. So anyway, I have my moss here, and I have my container here. This is a Ferrero box. So yeah, it's something that it's been sort of like a trend lately in the terrarium world. So that's what I'm going to do today. Yeah, it's going to be a vertical terrarium. So I have everything that I need around here. Like I said, my moss. Here we have my soil. And over here I've got like the regular black gardening soil. That's going to be the back, like the wall of the terrarium. And I've got some aquarium plants and some more moss over there. Yeah, so it's going to be very, very cool. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create the back wall in the Ferrero box. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply come in and apply a layer of the gardening soil, the black gardening soil. If you can see that there's a couple of big particles, big chunks. The only thing that you need to do is just crush them with your hands, because this is a mostly clay-based soil, so it's going to be no problem. In fact, if I come in and I grab one of them, I do this, and it dissolves completely. It crumbles, and we can use it, no problem. Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come in and water it, and then I'll show you what I'll do. Yeah. So here we are. We can see that the surface is nice and damp now. It's got to be a bit sticky, because after all, we're going to plant moss here. But basically what I did, it's exactly what I'm doing right now. I came in and with my finger, I firmly pressed it down, so it would compact and not go anywhere. In fact, if I were to put this vertically, you can see that it holds its shape very well. Yeah. So that's the first step. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. And the second step is this is going to be vertical. I'm going to put like a nice layer of soil over here where plants can grow. Yeah. So this will be for the moss, and the bottom layer will be for the plants. So to do that, I got my soil here, and this is a type of bonsai soil that I use. Basically, it's a little bit of zeolite, a little bit of turfis, a little bit of cocoa coir. We just pile it on there. Until we form like a nice layer. And it's a good idea to start working vertically right there and then, just so that we have a general idea of what we want and where we want it. Yeah. So if I move this up, of course the soil is gonna move. Yeah, I think I want that to be the limit, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. So maybe what I can do is I'm going to use the clay here to form sort of like a barrier there, so that the soil doesn't go anywhere, doesn't go everywhere, and there I can plant the aquarium plants. Yeah. Some bucephalandras and some other plants. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'll continue recording. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're back, and look at this. I was pleasantly surprised. If you add the black soil, the clay-based soil on top of the bonsai soil, you get like, that base, that nice structure that you need in order to give texture or a terrain shape to your container. So yeah, look, we got a nice 3D shape there that we can use to start planting. And like I said, I'm going to use moss, this moss over here, but I'm also going to use terrarium plants and some stones. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my stones, if I can find them. Yeah, they're over here. Yeah. And just lay them around, sorry, my finger, haphazardly, almost haphazardly, in the terrarium, just so that it looks natural. And you know me, I always say, oh, I'm gonna give it like an ancient ruin sort of look. Yeah. So maybe I can put a couple here. Yeah. Maybe another one over here. I don't know, it all depends on what you want, right? And this one vertical, because they had structures in that long gone civilization. And if you can have them in different sizes, that's perfect. That's very, very well. Works very, very well. Anyway, so sorry, I stopped the recording. So anyway, that's the first step. Now I'm going to come in with my aquarium plants, and then we can continue planting. Okay, so here we have our green section. Yeah, we can see them that they're nice and assemble in the little cover. And now it's just a matter of coming in and planting them, some of these are cuttings. That's why they look so shaggy. For example, this one right here is a Bucephalandra cutting. And they work very well in terrariums. And that's why I'm using them, and that's why I'm going to plant a bunch of them. Another reason why I'm planting a bunch of them is because, if I'm perfectly honest, these have especially little ferns, they have a high chance of dying because they don't get used to the conditions that the terrarium has, which are different to the conditions they've been growing in. A controlled environment, constant humidity. So when you put them in a different place, it might be difficult for them to adapt. But we can see that if we give them a chance, by supplying them with everything they need, sometimes, most of the times, they do well. It's another one. Look, this is interesting. This is a sort of an experiment. This is our Rotala plant. You might, if you're interested in aquariums, and I've said before, many of you are, this is an aquarium plant, but it grows very well emerge as well. So I'm going to plant it, see what happens, Maybe it grows, maybe it doesn't. Either way, I got a ton of them. So we come in. Well, this one I'm not going to use actually, because it looks like it's rotten. There's one right here. But the other ones are okay, they're fine. So maybe another one over here. Little trunk showing. Like so. And we continue doing this. Okay, everything is planted now. We can see that the Rotala is there, a couple of Bucephalandras, ferns, yeah, and now it's just a matter of coming in and planting the moss, yeah. So as usual, I'm going to do that off camera because I'm recording with my hands. I got the phone in my hand, but I'm going to use this type of moss that you've seen me use before. You see me use this in the bottle terrarium. I think we also used this little tray when I was making the kokedama. And yeah, I'm going to use this one. And I'm also going to use this species over here. It looked kind of funny right now, but it completely covers any container that it grows in. This is actually the one that we collected when we were planning on doing the bottle terrarium. the sugar container terrarium. So yeah, it completely covers anything it comes in contact with. And you can see that I've got like a similar setup here, you know, the bottom, or in this case the wall, and that's going to get completely covered with the moss. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. We can see that it's not looking the best at the moment, you know, but in a couple of weeks this will start to fill up, this will start to look lively, you know, and it will be a beautiful terrarium. So the only thing that we need to do right now is just water it, you know, but don't over water it. Okay, so if you water this once a week, like a generous spray like that, that will be more than enough, because remember, this is going to be cover, right? So we got the little cover here, you know, and that's a perfect terrarium. Yeah, visibility, hello. Visibility is not the best, but that's because of the water, right? The little droplets of water that we have there, and you know, and the glare from the sun. But yeah, let's see what happens with this little guy in the future, but I'm pretty confident that it will become very, very good terrarium. And this is something that you can do, you know, with pretty much anything that you have around you. When it comes to plants, when it comes to the moss, you know, you can use whatever species you can find at home. If you have an aquarium and you got aquarium plants, you can also use aquarium plants because they grow very well in high humidity environments. Yeah. So, and also, you know, a Ferrero Rocher box, just give your special lady or special boy or man in your life one, and just tell them, oh, but don't throw away the box because I want to create a terrarium, right? So anyway, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe. If you have any comments, doubts, questions, anything, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.